We descend, feel love, we defy, we defy, we defy, we defy.
There we go. All right. Welcome to Russ Plays Games. My name is Russ, and as you can see, I have 2 videos going. So with my particular thing, you can see the camera there, only because I just need to get my mist out of the little paint thingamajigger, because I painted up my little mist figure. I made her look very much like she does in her little profile picture. So as you can see, she looks very much like her profile picture. She's not quite complete yet, but that's okay. So, as I explained last time, I kind of went over the rules. I kind of went over a few of the things. So, this is going to be a little bit different for everybody, because I'm going to be having the 2 different camera angles. I'm going to try to keep this one that I have in my hand, that's my phone, as steady as possible. That one up there is just going to be covering the gameplay and everything like that. So as I go and I move the characters around the board, this side is going to have a lot more of that, and it gets some of the event cards that I'll have. This is the soul counter, of course, and then enemy scrolls are over here. It doesn't have the cards, so when I need the cards, I'll actually use this side to show the cards off. And then, you'll be able to kind of see everything from the character cards down here, and then you'll get it also on this one. So, I'm going to try to keep these episodes to around about 30 to 35 minutes, because this one will shut off at that time. And as you can see, I'm using the Wave 2 box to kind of hold that up and kind of put it in where it needs to be. And I think it's going to work. So it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error for the first couple of episodes here. So we're going to kind of see how long it takes and if we can actually get everything to work correctly. But I'm hoping that once we kind of get into this a little bit better, we will be able to, get all of that stuff going. And so, without any further ado, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to set that right there, and then we are going to open up to Act 1, Anvil of the Gods. So, as you can kind of see here, it says, a bolt of mystical light awakens the ancient heroes from the sweet oblivion of their eternal sleep. All that once was has come to be once again. As they open their eyes, the heroes contemplate an ethereal world, blurred and wrapped in translucent white mist. A few moments later, the eternal silence of the infinite is broken by a choir of 3 voices. Three voices sing together in their minds. Okay, so I already kind of know where all of the story events and the waypoints and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to need the storybook that much. Usually the storybook is just there to kind of tell you, like, hey, this is how everything goes. And then, you usually just kind of open up the Book of Secrets, and that's where you kind of turn to. So, we're going to open up that big old bad Book of Secrets. The divine voices speak in chorus. 2 male, 1 female voice, forming a perfect harmony. They state their will in commanding tones. Your souls have been called back by our will, forged as divine weapons to be the harbingers of our revenge. Your destiny is to annihilate the blasphemous creatures that dare to usurp our creations. Your immortal souls prohibit your total destruction, so you will never be free until you have completed your task. The powers you once wielded will slowly return as you tread the path we lay before you and become masters of your own destiny. Now approach the sacred altar and let your souls regenerate your death-clad shells. Return to life and taste immortality. And so what we have to do is we have to go to the first time phase. And because we are dead and we haven't moved yet, we skip the time phase in this particular portion because we are in ghost soul form. So as you can see, every single one of our characters is in ghost soul form. So how we move, there's a couple different ways that we can move. So if you look at the cards, you see that they have down here at the bottom, they have this recall and they have this move, okay? Which means that the recall means that if there's an active portal anywhere on the map, okay, the hero can use a free action to instantly teleport themselves there, okay? So because, and I'm going to kind of explain movement a little bit while we're doing this, because it's kind of important to the story and how everything works. So basically, when you see on the tiles, you see these X's, okay? These X's, the X is kind of taken up by the thing. Can't really see it on that one, but you can kind of see it on this one. You see that there's these X's. Each of these X's denotes one area, and the areas are how you move, okay? So when you move, you count the X's, and you can stand anywhere right around the X's, okay? Because there's like an X here for this little waypoint, and there's an X here for this altar. And so you can kind of see that when you move, you count the number of X's. So like each one of these guys can move 5 flying because they have their move listed. So generally what they're going to do then is they'll move, like you can move 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. Or you can just recall and go straight there. So basically how this works, how this first turn works is when your characters are moving, you can either just use the recall or use the move. Okay, so because Mist moved, we turn her bookmark around, and then for Artemis we'll just recall her to the thing, and then we'll turn her bookmark around, and then for Jeanne we'll turn her bookmark around and we'll just use the recall, or we can move. It doesn't matter. It's really, honestly, it really does not matter at this point because every single character is just going to go there, and then we have our first event phase. So for the event phase, and I kind of read up on the rules, and in this one, you do not move the story events to the actual top. They actually discard to the discard pile. But you still take the cards and you turn them over on top like that. So basically, our first event phase is event number 20, Soul Recall. The heroes gain 1 soul gem per hero. We have 3 heroes, we gain 3 soul gems. So we take our soul gem counter, we go 1, 2, 3, bam. Okay, we have 3, and that's how we're going to actually change our characters. That's how we're going to actually recall them, okay? Because to recall, you have to pay your soul rank in soul gems to bring them back to life, okay? Also, one really cool thing about this tile right here, 4A, if you look, you see, similar to her shield, you see the female face here, and you see the male face here, and then in the middle of it, you see this wall, and it has an E. And if you look at Jeanne's shield here, let me zoom in there, you see the female face, the male face, and then the middle. That's the sign of the 3 gods. Okay, so this is an Aries, Okay? And this is Mir, and this is Enomis. Okay? Those are the three gods that we heard. So now that we've got our soul gems and we're ready to go, we come into the time phase. And that means we refresh by, we turn all of the bookmarks around so that everybody's ready to go. And then, because we haven't used any powers, we're still in our ghost soul form, well, we read the next part of the Book of Secrets. First time phase, 1.2. The divine power of the three brings each hero back to life. The world returns to sharpness, an almost painful process for senses dulled by eons of sleep. As the party is overwhelmed by senses long forgotten, the ancestral choir sings one last time. The soil you tread is the Underreign, a subterranean land usurped by a creature that dares to call herself queen. End her unholy tyranny and receive your reward. Now go forth, holy avengers. So, what we do now. So, before we can do our phase, we can do our soul enhancements resurrection at the end of the time phase, which is what we're going to do. So, we spend a soul point to bring a person back to life. So, if we drop this, back down to 2, kablam! Then we can bring one hero back to life. So, just for the sake of doing it, because this is what it will look like normally, if you bought the premium Ghost Soul packs, which didn't come in the Kickstarter exclusive, then you don't have the Ghost Soul heroes. But Mist has her Ghost Soul form, which is what this figure is, okay? And so, to kind of show how that looks, you would take off the Ghost Soul form, okay, you put it off to the side, and then, bam, there's Mist. She's whole. You flip her card over. She's ready to rock. Alrighty, so, going over this, we have, again, she's faith and magic based, okay, which means she can use faith and she can use magic. We use the chaos version because everybody were using the chaos version. She has the spread wings, so we gain flight until time phase as a regular action, but we, I think to open the door, actually, we don't need an action, but we will need an action to equip our 2 weapons. So we won't use her spread wings this time. She also had the Spirit Sovereign, which is when any character in play dies, you place a spirit token, and if no spirit tokens remain, you may reassign a spirit token already in play. So if I have a spirit token that I haven't spent yet on one of her, abilities, then she does that. She can carry 3 backpack items, her save is a star, and she can move 4 spaces. So, we are going to move Mist. Okay, the first thing we do is we move to waypoint 1. Then, we read waypoint 1. Decayed weapons lie scattered on the ground. Time has been unkind to their blades, but they still hold enough power to kill or maim. Once per quest, each hero moving over this waypoint can spend 1 action, normal action, to choose and equip up to 2 items from the stash deck. So to save time, I've already I covered this in the actual rules, okay, section. So if you go back and watch episode 1, this is going to be 2A because, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this whole entire adventure by the time I get done, kind of explaining all of this stuff. Oops, I forgot. I had a little coin on there. I should not have had that. My bad. Sorry about that. I was doing a test run and I accidentally left a coin on her. My bad. So, what I equipped on her was the knife. Okay, because I realized that I equipped one of the only faith weapons on Jeanne, which is the mace, and there really wasn't many other faith weapons and there's not many magic weapons that she can hold. But what's interesting is because she is both faith and magic. Even though these two weapons say that, well, I guess these one can be, but like this weapon says no faith can equip it, but it's also got the thing. Because she's a magician, she can equip it. So she's got the knife in her primary hand. She's got darts in her offhand. Okay, and you can kind of see there when we get to combat and stuff, I'll kind of explain how all that, all the symbols and stuff work. Okay. So that's going to be her regular action, and she has one regular action, okay? She can use her power. She gets one power, which is her Celestial Command, okay? And then she has one combat action, one normal action, and 6 health points. And no talents, because nobody... I think Robin might get a talent at first level, but I don't have him to do that. So that was one move, so she has 3 movement left. Okay, so then we move another area. Let's put the waypoint marker back. And we get to waypoint 2. Okay, that's waypoint 2 right there, right on the other side of the door. So then we open it up and we read. A finely carved door isolates the ancient temple from the outside world. Beyond, the heroes face the wilderness, untold perils, and the unnumbered challenges born of their destiny. So what that means is that we can use a free action because this is not a locked door. This is a normal door. That's a locked door. So on the normal door here, we take it off to the side, just like that. Okay? And we move another one. Now, here's an interesting thing. We have a shadow token right here. Okay? But the story event 1 is already going to reveal what the shadow token is. Okay? So we're going to read story event 1 really fast. The door opens on a forgotten corridor where dust and cobwebs lie thick and undisturbed. Once a glorious shrine is now a lost sepulchre owned by giant spiders. Dun, dun, dun. As they spot the heroes, the giant arachnids click their mandibles and shake their limbs, ready to assault the fresh victims that just invaded their hunting ground. We open the spawn gate and discard the story event 1 card. So the spawn gate opens. Whoosh, kablam! That's the spawn gate. That's where it is. And whoosh, we discard story event 1. Okay. Then we draw. Well, we reveal the shadow token. And the shadow token has an enemy symbol, which means you draw an enemy card, and it also has a power card. So that means that we draw one enemy card, okay? And that's the normal giant spider guy. That's him, okay? He goes right there. And we also draw an enemy power card. Flaming Weapon. Inflicts Fire 1. If you roll during their attack an actual gremlin symbol on the die, all other heroes in the victim's area suffer Fire 1. Which, ouch, that's going to kind of suck. So that means we're probably going to want to keep him at a distance. So, because combat interrupts movement, I'm going to go ahead... Oh, and they also have 4 health points. I'm going to go ahead and use her darts, wand of darts, to throw, because that's 3 areas is the minimum, okay? And we are here, so we have 1, 2 areas, okay? So that means that we will basically throw a dart at the giant spider, okay? Now... I don't believe... Let me see here. I have to look at the card again, but I don't believe that they have any defense. Because it doesn't show anything on the bottom of their card. So, right below where it says 1. Oh, and then also this up here, that just means that it's the hero with the least amount of HP, I believe. Yeah. Doesn't come into play right now because the only one in the area is missed, so that's the one that he's going to run up and attack. So at this point, it's not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 1 of darts, okay? You see there, it says 2 blue. And then it also has a thing where it says a lightning bolt is slow and a star is lethal. So on the blue, we have both lightning bolts and stars. If you happen to roll a star, the hit is lethal, which means it ignores any armor that the monster potentially has. If you roll a lightning bolt, then they're slowed, which means they can only move or attack, not both. Okay? So we're going to take 2 blue, okay, and we're going to roll them. And it looks like I got 2 shields. That one's cocked. I'll re-roll it. Oh, I got a hit. This one's not a hit, so I'm going to move it out of the way. But I got a hit and a star, which means that I got 1 hit and it's lethal. But because he doesn't have any armor, we're going to go ahead and just put 1 hit on him anyway. So that's the end of Mist's turn, okay? Because that's all she can do right at the moment, okay? And since she was the one that pulled the spider, then the enemy turn for the spider goes right now, which means we draw an encounter card. And it says activate up to 2 enemies. Alrighty, well, that means that we're going to activate the only enemy that's on the board at this time, which is the giant spider. So what we do is we look at how far away they are, okay? Because that's what it says over here, okay? So we look and we see that they are 2 areas away. So it says 1, 2, attack with web. And then if the victim is slowed and there are no other heroes in its area, move to engage and use entrap, otherwise attack with web. So because we haven't attacked yet, then we attack with web, okay? And then it stays where it is. It doesn't move, okay? And so it's just going to attack with its web, which is 1 automatic hit, 3 blue, and a star gives us slow. So we take, just like with the other ones, we take 3 blue, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to roll these 3 blue, and it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3 hits, 2 stars, which we can only use 1 of them, and a lightning bolt, which doesn't do anything on this one because, well, it doesn't matter because there's nothing on the web, okay? But it does give us the slow effect, which we take and we use one of these little tokens. You can kind of see this little hourglass up here at the top. That means slow, okay? And we put that onto our character. And if I remember correctly, the slow, yeah, you can only do 1 movement, 1 action, 1 combat, single activity is allowed. So only 1 of them can use, so you can only use your combat action or whatever. So that's the slow effect, okay? Now we have to deal with the hits. So we've got 4 hits coming our way. Okay, this is not good. This is not really good at all. So we have 1 armor, we have 1 magic shield, which is really nice, and we get 1 blue die for defense. Okay, so we take 1 blue die. Okay, so we're gonna take at least 1 hit on this one. This is gonna suck, and we roll. And we got nothing. Oh, dang. That is a gremlin. Oh, no. That's a gremlin. Okay, well, the gremlin doesn't do anything right now. I don't believe it does anything during the attack. I think it's just generally, if there is something, I'll have to look in the rules to see if there was anything. But as far as I know, there's not really much that goes. Okay. So we will take 1 armor and 1 magic shield to block 2 of the hits. But she takes 2 damage. Okay? I just have this token here just to kind of illustrate that there's 1 armor. Okay? It's not that she has +1 armor, it's just 1 for that. It just helps me to look at the different hits. Okay? So she takes 2 damage, so she's down to 4 health points because she started with 6. Alrighty, so next turn, let's use let's go with Jeanne. So Jeanne is going to spend 1 of her soul points, just like that, and she's going to go down here, use her 1 action to equip a mace and a buckler. Okay? Which is also, she gains extra when defending, and then, of course, she has an armor point as well, so that's why that armor token is on her. And so, yeah, we get to do all of this stuff. Also, she's back to normal, and she can move 3 areas. So she's already moved 1 area, so she can move 2 more. So she's going to move down here to 2. Now, because we've already read that, we're not going to read it again. We're just going to move her down for 3, and that's going to bring her into the area. Okay? And that's basically hers because she can't move any further and she doesn't have any ranged weapons, and her power can't help anybody right now. I mean, I guess I could have used it on Artemis, but Artemis isn't ready yet because she hasn't gone. So we're going to spend the last soul point. Go back down to 0 soul points, and we're going to move. Artemis has 4 movement points. And so we're going to equip on her a short bow and a scimitar. Because she can, this is going to be for close quarter battling. This is going to be for normal battling. And to move these around, you have to use a regular action. So I won't be able to change it this turn, but I could potentially change it next turn, depending on if we actually deal damage and kill the thing. So it kind of depends on this turn for our heroes. Okay, so Artemis is going to move again down to here. Now, she can shoot her short bow because her short bow has the same range as the darts, the wand of darts, 3, and so she can shoot at the giant spider. Okay, and so we will have her shoot at the giant spider. So you can see that she gets 1 automatic hit. And she gets 2 blue, and then 1 hit for any lightning bolts. So we're going to take all of these. I'm going to kind of move all of these off to the side here. She's going to take her 2 blue. She's going to roll it, and she rolls 2 defense shields. So she scores 1 hit on the giant spider, bringing that giant spider to 2 of the 4. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this means primary weapon. So it's only when you're attacking with the bite weapon that that this fire 1 power will actually do anything to the heroes. Okay. So now that we've basically done everything. Okay. She also has a special ability called Predatory Instinct. If I roll a sword in sorcery, I add act hits, which means we're in act 1. I would add 1 hit. And if I rolled the gremlin, then that would have been a critical hit. Which, if I remember correctly, the critical hit is... can't remember how it works against the people. Trying to remember how it works, but anyway, we'll get into that later. If we roll it, I'll end up looking in the rule book for it. But But yeah, so that is the first turn. Okay, the heroes and monsters turn. Okay, so that's the hero turn. That was the battle phase. And the enemy turn. So we don't have any minions on the board at this time. And so we go to the event phase, which means we look at the event deck. We see that there is a card up on the event deck. So we take that card, we move it over, and then we go back to the time phase. So the time phase, we actually refresh all of our characters, okay? So we pull all of these bookmarks, and put those in there. And if we had any powers in cooldown mode, we would have moved those powers. So like if I'd have used my Celestial Command power, and let's say it was on the 2 side, then we would have moved it to the 1, okay? But we didn't use any of the powers. So it looks like this turn is going to be a lot more exciting. And it's been about 30 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode. So this is hopefully going to resolve in the next episode. Because again, I don't want to run out of time on that one. And have it shut off while I'm still talking on this one, because then it's going to be kind of uneven because you're going to have like 1/2 black screen. So, this has been Russ Plays Games. We are playing Sword and Sorcery, Ancient Chronicles. We are in the middle of Act 1, Anvil of the Gods. We have had a person take some damage, and they are slowed, which means they're only going to be able to move or attack. So that's going to come into play in this turn. And, now that we have Jeanne the Inquisitor and Artemis the Hunter, joining Mist in the battle, this is going to get a lot bigger. So, without any further ado, I think I'm going to call that an episode here. So this has been Russ for Russ Plays Games. And smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment below, and I will see you later.